I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly. That's why I say allegedly.
Something massive just rocked the world of daytime television and politics, and people cannot stop talking about it. Melania Trump, the former First Lady, has filed a jaw-dropping $100 million lawsuit against the outspoken hosts of The View. This isn't just a typical celebrity drama. This is a full-scale legal showdown that's got both fans and critics losing their minds. So what pushed Melania to take this bold legal swing? The answer is as scandalous as it gets. During a fiery and chaotic live episode of The View, the hosts went completely off the rails with outrageous claims about Melania's private life. They didn't hold back, not even for a second, and made personal attacks that left viewers gasping. One host dramatically claimed, "I think she hates him," while another chimed in without hesitation, "Yeah, that's a given." Then came a brutal statement. She doesn't want to be the First Lady anymore. The studio was practically sizzling with tension. It didn't stop there. They accused her of destroying the Rose Garden and said she absolutely hates Christmas. One of them even dared to say she doesn't want to decorate for the holidays and can't even sleep in the same room as Donald Trump.
Critics are going hard after a liberal media member for vile comments about Melania Trump. The former First Lady appears to signal her support for reproductive rights in a video out yesterday.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
Wow. I mean, that is violent. They've got to stop talking like that about a former president who's had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, that's just ignorant.
Millions of people watched as these explosive comments aired live, and the internet went wild within minutes. The backlash exploded on social media. Some viewers were laughing, some were shocked, and others were flat-out outraged. But Melania, she wasn't laughing. She was furious, and her legal team wasted no time striking back. This lawsuit is more than just about hurt feelings. It's about reclaiming her public image in front of millions. Her team is saying this isn't just carelessness. It's intentional, targeted defamation meant to humiliate her. Let's be clear. This isn't the first time The View has sparked controversy, but this time, the consequences could be devastating. With $100 million on the line, this could become one of the most expensive and high-profile lawsuits in TV history. The core of the lawsuit is defamation. Her lawyers claim those wild statements were false, harmful, and deeply personal. And since they were broadcast across the nation, they didn't just damage her image, they may have changed how people around the world see her. This has now spiraled into a heated battle over truth, privacy, and how far a talk show can go before crossing the line. The moment those remarks hit the air, the media world erupted like a volcano. Viewers were stunned. Critics came out swinging, and supporters of Melania rushed to her defense. This wasn't just casual TV talk. It felt like a personal attack, and Melania's legal team says it crossed every line imaginable. According to the lawsuit, these weren't just opinions, they were painted as facts, delivered with confidence, and wrapped in sarcasm that stung like daggers. The claims about her private relationship, her role as First Lady, and even her feelings about Christmas were all aired without a shred of proof. And that's what makes this lawsuit so explosive.
I hear he likes to be the DJ. He likes to be the DJ, and it's a very fun night when he does that.
That thing needs a laugh track. It needs a laugh track.
I have to say, I was surprised when she mentioned his sense of humor. But I'm going to leave that alone and ask you all the question, will the candidate's spouses getting involved like she just did?
What?
That's what it says.
Melania's lawyers say it was done with full awareness that the statements were false and hurtful. They're now arguing that these weren't just flippant remarks. They were calculated hits on her character, done for ratings and attention. One legal insider said this could turn into a textbook case of public defamation if the court sides with Melania. What makes it even more intense is that the episode in question wasn't some obscure clip. It aired during prime viewing time to millions across the nation. The reach of those words was enormous, and now Melania's team says the damage is just as massive. According to her legal filing, this wasn't just embarrassing. It harmed her reputation on a global scale, creating a lasting stain on her image. They argue that people now associate Melania with bitterness, hate, and emotional detachment, all based on unverified statements. It's no secret that The View has made headlines before, but this time, the backlash may come with a hefty price tag. What's different now is that this lawsuit isn't just a threat. It's officially filed, and the documents are scorching with allegations. At the heart of this battle is one very tricky word: intent. Did the hosts knowingly try to hurt Melania's image, or were they just expressing opinions? Melania's lawyers are digging deep, trying to prove that this was no accident, that the hosts meant to ridicule her and damage her brand. In legal terms, that's a major deal, because proving intent is what separates a cruel joke from a courtroom disaster. And if Melania's team succeeds, it could be a game changer for how talk shows operate moving forward. Already, legal experts are weighing in, saying this case might force daytime television to reconsider how far its hosts are allowed to go. Meanwhile, fans of The View are split down the middle, some defending the hosts' right to speak freely, others calling it a total invasion of privacy. This has turned into more than a personal feud. It's now a debate about free speech versus public decency, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Now people across the country are arguing over what should matter more.
Now you know who has been bragging all over the campaign trail about how he's the one that overturned Roe v. Wade, but apparently his wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir. Oh. Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Freedom of speech or personal dignity. Supporters of The View say the hosts were just saying what many Americans are already thinking out loud. They claim the comments were just part of a bigger political conversation, not meant to personally hurt anyone. But critics aren't buying it. They say the show took things way too far and crossed into dangerous territory, calling someone cold, loveless, or miserable on live TV. That's not just commentary, it feels personal and cutting. Melania's legal team is highlighting this exact issue, saying the comments were designed to create humiliation, not discussion. They believe these remarks were orchestrated for shock value, to boost ratings and stir up drama for headlines. And based on how fast the media jumped on it, they might not be wrong. The episode went viral in less than an hour. Clips flooded social media, reaction videos popped up, and hashtags were trending worldwide before the day was over. The court filing points to this as proof that the damage was immediate, public, and impossible to ignore. Melania's camp insists that no one should be subjected to that kind of verbal attack just for being in the public eye. Even if you're a celebrity or political figure, there's still a line between public critique and personal character assassination. And this lawsuit, it's aiming to make that line clearer and stronger than ever before. Behind the scenes, sources close to Melania say she's had enough of being the silent target for cheap shots on talk shows. This time, she's fighting back, and not just with words, but with a massive legal response that demands accountability. She wants more than money. She wants respect and recognition that she too deserves protection from harmful narratives. The timing of this lawsuit is also raising eyebrows, just as political tensions are heating up again across the nation.
Is people believe because Donald Trump signed that stimulus check, his name is on the stimulus check.
Yeah.
People believe that money came out of his pocket. Let's be clear.
No.
That money came through Congress. That's your money.
Yeah.
He gave you your money back because it was sitting there and we needed it.
And it was a pandemic.
And it was a pandemic. So just know that, you don't see, Joe Biden's name is not on the check to make you believe that he had gone into his pocket for money you know he doesn't have.
Some believe this could influence how media networks handle sensitive commentary in the middle of such a politically charged environment. Others say this case might set a precedent for future lawsuits against media personalities who go too far with their words. And if Melania wins, it could shake up the talk show industry in a way we've never seen before. Producers might tighten scripts, hosts might hold back, and the entire format of live opinion segments could shift dramatically. But the firestorm is far from over. More details are expected to come out, and this story is still developing in real time. They're reportedly digging through past episodes, searching for any pattern of behavior that shows a history of personal attacks. If they find a consistent trail of controversial remarks targeting Melania, it could seriously tilt the case in her favor. Meanwhile, The View's legal team is pushing back hard, claiming the lawsuit is overreaching and threatens free speech on television. They argue that the show thrives on strong opinions and lively debate, and that policing that could set a dangerous standard. But critics are firing back, saying freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, especially when reputations are at stake. And now media watchdog groups are jumping into the mix, analyzing every frame of that episode for tone, context, and possible malice. Some say the entire segment felt more like a roast than a respectful discussion, and that might be the key to Melania's legal argument. People close to the production of The View are staying tight-lipped, but insiders hint there's growing tension behind the scenes. Producers are reportedly scrambling to ensure upcoming episodes avoid the same kind of personal controversy. Rumors are swirling that executives are even reviewing internal policies to figure out where things went wrong and how to prevent a repeat. Meanwhile, public opinion continues to be sharply divided. Some see Melania as a brave woman defending herself,
Back to this point with the left and Melania Trump. Why can't she just be her own woman and have separate?
And she can.
And so why all that criticism? I mean, that was gross from The View. And look,
agree.
The View is not the litmus test of America. We don't think that.
They were afraid of that remark. That was their problem.
So why did they handle it that way? These are such vile comments, but they are exactly what The View's audience loves. It is targeted perfectly at a radically feminist, liberal audience that loves hate. Another now. This is loving and tolerant rhetoric the left uses, which they accuse the opposing side of using. And this one, those women are a danger to America. They do more than anyone else to stoke political and social tensions. The former president says he thinks his wife should be allowed to think for herself.
Others say she's overreacting. Online forums and social media platforms are filled with heated debates, emotional comments, and plenty of finger-pointing. Supporters of Melania argue that she's been targeted for too long, and this lawsuit is her way of saying enough is enough. But critics argue that this lawsuit is a distraction tactic meant to silence uncomfortable truths about her time in the spotlight. Some are even asking, could this be a political move tied to future ambitions or a strategic comeback in the media? No one knows for sure yet. But one thing is clear, this battle isn't just legal, it's personal, emotional, and very public. And while all this unfolds, Melania remains mostly silent in public, but her legal documents are speaking volumes. The next hearing is rumored to involve some high-profile testimonies that could turn the entire case upside down. Everything is riding on what happens next, because one wrong word, one revealing moment could change everything. If Melania succeeds in court, it will send a powerful shockwave through every talk show, podcast, and news panel on television. Networks would be forced to rethink how far hosts can go when talking about someone's personal life, especially someone as high-profile as a former First Lady. Producers might start adding delay buttons, legal oversight, or even banning certain topics just to avoid another lawsuit like this. And if Melania loses, that could embolden talk shows to get even more reckless with their commentary, knowing there's no major consequence. Either way, this case has already changed the conversation. It's got media giants watching their backs and viewers questioning what's entertainment and what's just plain cruelty. As for The View, the show hasn't issued a formal apology, but whispers suggest not everyone on the panel agrees with how far things went. One insider allegedly said, the mood behind the scenes has become icy, with some hosts frustrated over the legal mess they're now tangled in. Melania's camp, on the other hand, seems more determined than ever.
Allegedly, he was cheating while Melania was pregnant.
That was all. That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that won't come up.
We're on television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yes.
It's like people should look at him and say, you know, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant. I'm not attracted to her big belly or something. And now she's paying attention to the baby and not me.
To bring this case to the finish line and prove a point. They've said this lawsuit isn't just about money. It's about standing up for dignity in a world that seems to have lost all boundaries. And for Melania, who's spent years being picked apart by headlines, talk shows, and tabloids, this is her moment to reclaim control of her image. It's a statement that no matter how famous or public you are, you don't have to be a punching bag for people's amusement. Now that the lawsuit is fully underway, the public is waiting with bated breath, because this decision could ripple across every screen in America. Court dates have been set, documents are being filed, and behind closed doors, legal teams are sharpening every word, every argument, every shred of evidence. Even media watchdog groups are preparing reports to monitor what could become the most influential defamation case in modern entertainment history. And yes, people will keep talking about Christmas decorations, the rose garden, and those bizarre comments about sharing a bedroom. But the real issue now is power and accountability. Will Melania emerge victorious and force the media to think twice before crossing the line? Or will the court decide that this is all just part of being famous? No matter the outcome, this case is already a defining moment in how we treat public figures and how far we're willing to go in the name of ratings. So keep watching, because this isn't just a lawsuit, it's a battle for control in a media world that never sleeps and never forgives. The cameras may have stopped rolling that day on The View, but this story, it's far from over. This was just the beginning of something much, much bigger. And now, all eyes are on the courtroom, because what happens next might just change television forever.